Hi guys, it's Stuart from Apex Vanguard, and here today I'm bringing you my gold Paladin deck list that I've been meaning to do for a while and haven't got around to it because A levels are a lot of work. So to start with, an Ezel clan. Hopefully you'd know that if you're watching this video. Just assortment of Ezel markers, and then getting into the actual deck. So first we have 4 copies of Incandescent Lion Blonde Ezel. It's pretty much the mainstay of your deck. Also, I love these. Pack pulled both of them. Got that one out of a box and got this one at a pre-release. Ultra Miracle Collection, that is, and Miyagi Academy. So what Blonde Ezel does, if I just bring you up to the camera, I can't really see, hold on. There. So his skill is act from your hand if you've got Bowman's and Gareth on your field, which we'll see later. You can Soul Blast 1 Crimson Lion Cub Criff and ride him from your hand with -1 drive. So it's really good. You can potentially get to grade 3 on your opponent while your opponent's on grade 1. So this deck's all about rushing and getting to grade 3 really quickly, and just don't let your opponent get any chance to even get in the game really. It does have its flaws, which I'll explain later, but I do like the deck. It's quite solid. Not sure if I'll hang on to it once the new Nova Grappler sport comes out, the new Beast Deity sport, because I'm really liking that. But I do like this deck, it's a solid deck. And then back onto Blonde Ezel, his second skill, which if I'm honest I don't use that much, is when it attacks you can call a card from your hand to rearguard, which just let you get an additional attack. It does happen before Twin Drive though, so you can't wait to see if you get good cards to Twin Drive. So usually by that stage I've already called most of what I want to call, so I don't use it that often. But yeah, for Blonde Ezel, you need it. Your finisher needs it. Both of your early game grade 3 mechanics need it. If you're not playing Blonde Ezel, unless you're playing Garmor build, if you're not playing Blonde Ezel, you're not doing very well. If you don't see Blonde Ezel, you're probably not going to do very well. And speaking of the finisher, 4 copies of Ravenhead Ezel. New card from Miyagi. It's a very good card. So again, if I just show up to the camera. And Ravenhead Ezel's skill is, his first skill is an act skill. From your hand, if you've got Blonde Ezel as your Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 and ride him as stand. So it's essentially anti-Murakumo, which is probably the strongest deck in the meta at the moment. Not necessarily for that reason, more for I think it's Shiryu. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry if I've butchered that. Shiryuki, I think it's something like that. Anyway, back to this. His second skill, which is the main reason you play him, is an auto skill. When it attacks, if you've got Blonde Ezel in the soul, so like I said, you'll keep hearing this Blonde Ezel. You need Blonde Ezel. So if you have Blonde Ezel in the soul, when you attack, you can count blast 1 until the end of that battle. He can get plus 15,000 plus a crit. The opponent can't go Sentinels to guard, so it's really good anti-protect. Pretty much just completely shuts them down because obviously they can't use their markers. Those markers are Sentinels. And it's a lot of hit pressure. If they take that, it's 2 damage. If not, the amount of attacks you're going to have, it's going to put them in a bad place. So yeah, that's Ravenhead. Your plan is just to keep battering with them early game. If you can get your Blonde Ezel out on your opponent while your opponent's at grade 1 and just absolutely batter them. And then our final grade 3s, play 10 grade 3s, is Battlefield Storm Sagramort. Really good card. You play this in every single gold Paladin build. He's just such a good card. Show him there. And his skill is quite simple. It's when he's placed from hand, you can Soul Blast 1, draw a card, call the card to rearguard. But it's really good. It sets up quite a few plays. So now moving on to grade 2s, we play 4 Knight of Superior Skill Bowmans. The first of, I'm going to call it like your Blonde Ezel, sort of a road chain. It's not a road chain, but the way you can superior ride Ezel out first, like early. There we go. His skill is, when he's placed, you discard a card from your hand, search deck for 1 Knight of Elegant Skills Gareth, and call it to rearguard. I hope. Yeah, and then shuffle. Sorry, I went completely blank then. So it helps your Ezel Superiorid because you need that Gareth and that Bowman's out. So if you get him, you can search deck for a Gareth, and hopefully if you've got Blonde Ezel in your hand, you can Superiorid it. Then his second skill is when he's placed by a card's ability, he gets plus 3k for the turn, so it's a 12k attacker. It can hit, Axel, and protect. Against force, it's not that useful unless he's got a booster or he's on an Axel circle, but power's still power, and power's nice. Our second grade 2, which is part of our second superior ride mechanic, is Flame Wind Lion Wonder Ezel. Wonder Ezel's skill is act on Vanguard. You can Soul Blast 1, retire a Crimson Lion Beast Howl, which we'll see later on. He's a grade 1. Search deck for a Blonde Ezel superior ride, a stand with -1 drive. So again, it's about getting that grade 3 out early. And you just need to get your opponent while they're still at grade 1. And then his second skill, which, if I'm honest, is kind of... I do use it sometimes, it's not all that great. When placed, you can call a card from your hand to rearguard. It's good for those ones like Bowmans or Sagramors that have that when placed for an ability, from your hand or by an ability, it gets a skill. But there's better ways to do it in the deck, but it's always nice to have just in case. It's more there for your Ezel mechanic. And then our final grade 2, is Play of the Holy Bow Vivian, 3 copies of her. This I would call like the interchangeable slot. And I'll explain that after I've gone over her skill. So her skill is, she only has 1 skill. When she's placed from hand, you can Count Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, check the top 3 of your deck, call 1 from among them, and put the other 2 to the drop zone, and Vivian gets plus 3k power. So it's a good card, lets you get more regards from your deck, so you can keep your hand, which in Axel is good. Sorry, something on the mat. And yeah, it's a good card. You have other options, which I have play tested, but I do prefer Vivian. You have All Out Knight Affles, which is a name I really don't like. And he's basically the same skill, but you discard a card instead. So, but in Axel, you need that hand size. It's quite hard to get it back, so I prefer her. Or you can play the promo if you've got it, which I did actually really like, but I prefer Vivian just a little bit more. Golden Beast Rampage Turtle, I think it's called. And you make your opponent call at least 2 Guardians when it attacks. And that is good, considering the amount of battles you have in this. But the only problem is without Vivian or Affles, it's a little bit harder to get to get more circles, to get more regards on those circles. So Rampage Turtle does have its weaknesses. So that's it for grade 2s. Moving on to grade 1s. We have 4 copies of Knight of Elegant Skills Gareth. Now, you have to play him in this because, again, you need him for your Ezel superior ride chain. And his skill is quite good. I actually use his skill quite often, so it's simple. When he's called by a card's ability, you can count +1, give him plus 10k. On an Axel circle, he's a 28k attacker before any front triggers or anything. That should play this deck. The triggers in this, you can play pretty much whatever you want. It's so interchangeable. But yeah, before triggers or anything, 28k attacker on an Axel circle or an 18k boost. It's very nice. I like this card a lot. Next, another card I like a lot. Skill's pretty similar to Sagramor's from earlier. 4 copies of Crimson Lion Beast Howl. Now, Howl's skill, as well as being part of the Wonder Ezel superior ride chain, so there's 2 different ones. One of them's Bowman's and Gareth, the other is Wonder Ezel and Howl. So Howl's skill, it's at end turn it boosted. If you have an Ezel Vanguard, you can Count Blast 1, move into Soul, draw a card, call a card. So again, like Sagramor, it's just really good for getting those multi-attacks in a turn. And then final grade 1 is 4 copies of Listener of Truth Dindrain. She's really good for refilling your hand and getting your counter charge back, because her skill is when she's placed from a card ability, you can Soul Blast 1 and either draw a card, or you can counter charge a card and get plus 3k. I have seen people play this wrong and draw a card and still give plus 3k. They are separate. You either draw a card or you counter charge and get plus 3k. But still a very good card. Yeah, become very useful at times. So I'm in on to grade 1s. Of course, you have Crimson Local Criff, just like the rest. But when you ride, draw a card, but you need it for your Bowman's and Gareth superior ride chain. Then trigger lineup. we play 8 crits. I did play fronts. I actually like fronts, and I might move back to some fronts. So I am thinking about playing 4 crit, 4 front, but with crits and fronts you can pretty much do what you like in this. Both work just as well. But personally I actually do prefer the front a little bit more than the crit. But obviously crits are nice to have to pressure your opponent, so I'd probably play it 4 and 4. But it's completely up to you. This is what I'm playing at the moment. It does work, it works very well. It's just that I personally I'm quite fond of front triggers. And in the new brand meta, fronts do less damage than crits do if you're against brand. Next, play 4 copies of, well, everyone's going to play these. Your draw PGs, everyone needs a Halo Shield Mark. Everyone knows what these are really. Perfect guide with Ultra Green. And then finally, 4 heal triggers for Elixir Sommelier. Again, I might have butchered that name. So that's it for this video. Actually, no, before I finish, I just wanted to go over some strengths and weaknesses. So, the one problem with this deck, even though it's a very good deck, but you need to see these pieces, otherwise it all goes wrong basically. You need an Ezel in your hand, or you need your pieces to get, you need to get to grade 3 first. And also, once you get to grade 3, your Wonder Ezel becomes kind of useless. But if you get your pieces, you have a very strong chance of winning, because you can just rush so early that your opponent can't do anything. So it's a very good deck, but it is very luck based. As a card game, it is luck based, but this deck especially is very luck based. But it does make your games more exciting, as you can see. Very nice arts. You've got to love Gold Paladin. They're very nice art wise, and a very nice play style. I like them a lot. So thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give us a like, subscribe, comment any questions you may have, and that's it. Bye.